Hello there, good evening and welcome. Every second, events break across the body polity and in particular from the nation's federal capital. This is Abuja Dispatch, a platform that is specially created to bring to your living rooms those events and issues, and indeed those characters that have shaped the entire landscape of the nation's federal capital for the past 1 week. Adegboyega Arogbodo is my name. Let's start off with those stories that made up our news headlines in the outgoing week.
The federal government says the inauguration of the 37-man tripartite committee on national minimum wage for workers is a clear expression of its desire to nurture a motivated workforce. Vice President Kashim Shettima made the declaration on Tuesday while inaugurating the committee at the presidential villa Abuja. He stressed that the exercise re-emphasizes the importance of workers to the development of the nation, as the labor force stands as the cornerstone of the progress of every nation, and that of Nigeria has been the enduring engine of the common pursuits to development. Following the consideration of the final recommendation of the committee, the government's decision will be presented as an executive bill to the National Assembly to undergo thorough legislative scrutiny before being passed into law. The Nigerian Senate has resolved again to summon all the security chiefs amid rising insecurity in the country. The upper chamber listed kidnapping, banditry, robbery, and murder among security issues it said the federal government must confront urgently, owing to report of spreads in many parts of the country. Senators passed the resolution in Abuja soon after they reconvened for work from their Christmas and New Year recess. The Comptroller General, Nigeria Customs Service, Bashir Adewale Adeni, says the cumulative effect of 2023 being an election year, cash crunch, naira redesign and other factors led to the drastic reduction on customs revenue. He stated these at an interactive session with the House of Representatives Committee on Customs and Excise. The interactive session was on the review of the service's 2023 budget performance revenue generation. Through the e-customs platform and its 2024 proposed budget, Adewale added that the customs is looking towards the area of cargo tracking in collaboration with relevant agencies of government in the marine industry for effective monitoring to avoid diversion of revenue. The revenue projection was 3.66 trillion naira, but the service only collected 3.202 trillion from January to December 2023 due to the factors listed.
Welcome to the split view segment of our program Abuja Dispatch. And tonight we have the pleasure of welcoming to our studio, as it were, the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm very much pleased to be on this program.
Now, sir, let me just ask you straight away, what does it mean to you being the Special Advisor on Strategy and Information to Mr. President? What does it entail?
Well, my job was well cut out when I was appointed to ensure that the President's programs, policies are well articulated and they are well presented to Nigerians so that at least they can understand what he's trying to do. We are lucky that when he was campaigning, we campaigned on the platform of a manifesto. And the manifesto will clearly have very clear programs which have now been distilled into an 8-point program, and that's what we are implementing. If you are doing marketing and you have very clear-cut objectives, very clear-cut what people call unique selling points, your job is very easy to sell whatever product. So that's the way I'm looking at the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He already has a program, and he has started by introducing 2 very key reforms, removing the fuel subsidy, because we believe that is the only way we can put the economy back on track. And then also the harmonization of the multiple exchange rates into just one single exchange rate. So those policies are on, and of course there have been a lot of fallouts from the policies which we are grappling with. And I believe that with all the consequential policies, things are going to improve in this country.
Now that you mentioned the area of economy, maybe we should start from there. I'm aware that the government has put in place some policies, that will revamp and sustain the economy. And but to an average Nigerian on the streets, the inflation coupled with the unabating fall in of the naira to dollar, the environment seems, not so conducive for commerce, for business. What's your take on this?
Well, that point of view is debatable. Let's even take from the point of view of business. I've been following the trends in the stock market, for instance. Generally, some people are complaining that they're not making money, whereas some other people are making money. So, as I said, the issue is debatable. It only depends on which side of the divide you are. Some people have seen opportunities in what the president has done, and they are making money. Some are disadvantaged. I can assure you, the President Bola Tinubu is trying to address the problems those segments of our country that they are facing. Like the pharmaceuticals, for instance. The price of pharmaceutical goods have gone up, and at the last session of the Federal Executive Council, that was a major issue discussed, how to bring down the prices of drugs that our people need to survive and things like that. So work is going on that. The Federal Ministry of Health is doing a lot of things to make sure that we have a reduction in the prices of pharmaceutical products.
I know of that. To somebody on the streets of Lagos, for instance, or anywhere in the country, there is this, when you talk about all the common consumables, the staple foods, the way they are too, very unaffordable kind of when you get to the markets. So, they are like waiting. What's the government should do? I mean, what should the government do?
Well, what you know is that the government last year, towards the end of last year, don't forget that by the time the subsidy was removed and government is working out to ensure that there is harmony in the exchange rate, government gave the states a lot of money, 2 billion each, to invest in agriculture. And some of them, some people are saying some of them did not use the money for what it was meant for, but some deployed the fund to buying fertilizer, to buying improved seedlings, so that we can have improved production from our farms. And even last year, towards the end of last year, the government invested in more production in agriculture. I think about 500,000 hectares of land to be cultivated so that we can have more food to eat and things like that. So those programs are on. The government is not just folding its hands to say that, let's magic happen. No, the government is working hard to ensure that we reduce prices and that inflation comes down. And the key to drive down inflation, because the main inflation today now is caused by food, the prices of food. And government is trying to invest in, not just trying, is investing heavily in making sure that we even have an all-year-round farming, so that there will be plenty of food for our people to buy at a reduced rate. So those are the programs that are on. So I'm sure, I just want to plead Nigerians that they should be patient. They will soon begin to see the effects of all those policies.
Yeah, one recurring statement in President Bola Tinubu's utterances at different fora, is that Nigeria will forge ahead and come out strong despite the present challenges. Of recent, there has been this kind of surge in the security sector. I mean, the insecurity, of different ranges, the crimes of different kinds, banditry, kidnapping in particular, a lot of things. As of yesterday, we still have something that happened in Ekiti State, which is very, very uncommon in that part of the country. But now, there's this general fear, kind of. What is the government doing to abate this? In fact, as of yesterday, the National Assembly even saying to the president that there will be more proactive steps. Why they are calling him for the chief of the...
Let me say, and I'm sure Nigerians will, if they are very much open-minded, understand what I'm trying to say, what I want to say. Most of the reports about insecurity, they are isolated. The one that happened in Ekiti is not about, I think, 12 local councils or so. Something happened in a part of Ekiti, not even Ado Ekiti, not Ikere Ekiti, not other parts of Ekiti, but it's localized. But because of the media, because the way the media plays up a lot of these things, people are given the feeling that our country is under siege, that we're under the stranglehold of bandits or kidnappers and things like that. But as I said, these are just some of them isolated cases. But it does not mean that even if it's isolated, one life in Nigeria is worth our concern. Exactly. You can't afford to lose any life. Exactly. Even if they kidnap one person, government should be very, very concerned. And I can assure that this government is very much concerned about projects like this. President Tinubu has already spoken. He has sent a letter of a condolence message to the governor of Ekiti State. He has charged the security men to find those people who killed those two monarchs, and even those who kidnapped the students, the pupils of a primary school who are going home from their school from one town to another. So the government is not just folding its hands. Efforts are ongoing. Equipment are being bought to ensure that the police are well equipped. To look at Abuja, for instance, after the hue and cry about kidnapping in Dutse and Buhari area of the federal capital, those areas are near the border of Nasarawa State. And maybe because of the nature of their location, these evil-minded people are able to come in to perpetrate their evil intentions and so on, and kidnap people and create so much mystery. But again, the matter has been addressed. The FCT minister recently announced that the president has given him money to buy equipment to monitor all those people who are causing havoc all over the place. And most reports about all these things, they are sometimes the media, the way we play them up, with all kinds of embellishments and so on and so forth, we tend to create a very embellished image outside there of as if our country is under siege. Nigeria is not under siege. There are security challenges, of course, but I want to say that this country is very safe. This country is not under siege. Of recent, I was looking at the statistics. When we compare our country to other countries in the world, look at America that people think is a safe haven. The statistics don't support it. There are more killings in America than in Nigeria. More killings in the US than this country. More killings. As I said, people should not misunderstand me. Every life that we lose in our country is very important. But what I'm just saying that we should not be lulled into this siege mentality, this mindset that our country is not safe. This country is still safe. Our people are generally peace-loving people. Our people are good people. Minus all those minorities who are creating problems here and there. But I said the harm they inflict, the problems they cause are in most cases isolated. I read a report, for example, by one of people saying that, in Ogun State, that is going to be an industrial hub, is now a den of cultists and kidnappers. I said, Ogun State, I come from Ogun State. I have people who live in Ogun State. Is that the experience they live? No. So the fact that something happens in Abeokuta or in some parts of Abeokuta, not the entire Abeokuta, or in some parts of Ilaro, does it make it a general problem in Ogun State? Does that thing happen in Ijebu Waterside? Does it happen in Ijebu Ode? You know what I mean? So people overplay these things and they just frighten our people and as if nowhere is safe at all. I just went out now in Abuja. I moved from one place to another. I didn't have any sense of insecurity. Even though we say some of these things happen somewhere. But the point I'm making is that Nigeria is not as unsafe as, especially the media play it.
You know, one area of governance that President Tinubu's administration seems to be averse to is when it comes to corruption. I mean, there are some happenings within the last 8 months of this administration that have shown that, well, the government seems not to be comfortable with any acts of corruption across the polity. Now, but what the fears of many people, in some quarters that probably some of these things will be hijacked by these funds can be hijacked by the non-state actors, and that how sustainable can the government really be when it comes to the fight against corruption? Is it sustainable as it were?
Right. Let me say that the two major policies that the government has introduced, they are meant to fight corruption. Removing fuel subsidy. If you remember the Jonathan era, where some people were bringing humongous claims, dubious claims, running into billions and billions of naira, saying that government is owing them money, it was all corruption. And even before the president stopped it on his first day, there was the issue of corruption surrounding fuel subsidy. The NNPC will come and say, oh, they've spent X, Y, Z amount on the importing goods. Nobody checked their books. Nobody checked them. Nobody really knows whether the figure they are quoting for government is actually real. But as of today, this government is not paying a dime on subsidy. So it is to stem corruption. The whole regime of subsidy, you find smugglers taking the fuel that the Nigerian government has purportedly subsidized, taking them out of the country and making billions of naira as profit. Maybe they are still doing it now, but this government is not incurring any additional burden for whatever they do. They smuggle, they are taking a risk, they are doing business, but if they are caught, that's their problem. The second one, amortization exchange rate, is also to fight corruption. Under the last administration, people were collecting money from the central bank at about 450 naira or so per dollar and rerouting in what they call arbitrage, rerouting this money to the parallel market, and they are making profit, 300, 400 naira on every dollar. Again, that has stopped. So it's a major weapon against corruption. And of course, of late is the president's desire to make sure that at least whoever has violated the rules, especially financial rules, they have no place in his government. By taking the stand action he took over some of a minister who people said violated some rules and so on. So this government is ready to fight corruption, and I don't see it backtracking on that. In fact, the president, I'm sure it's surprising a lot of people that he's doing what he's doing today.
Now, before we go, sir, let me use this opportunity to ask you on the issue which has been generating a lot of controversies, across the body policy. That's the relocation of all the purported plans of relocating some sections of the Apex Bank and the headquarters of FAN to Lagos. Of what administrative or professional basis would this be? I mean, of what is it true if the plan is on the pipeline?
Well, of course, it's true. The FAN, until 2015, 2016, FAN headquarters was in Lagos. But the minister came and said, no, FAN headquarters will leave Lagos to Abuja. See, if you are to be truthful as Nigerians, you know that that's a very, very wrong decision, which the new minister is trying to correct. The hub of aviation in Nigeria is Lagos. Most flights depart or arrive in Lagos more than any other, either local or international. So where else we find headquarters be except Lagos, the hub of aviation? So that's what they've done. They've moved the headquarters back to where it belongs, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. If you know that there are some agents of federal government today that are located in other places, and not necessarily in Abuja. Look at the National Inland Waterways Authority, for instance. It's based in Lokoja. Why are they not saying you want to locate in Jabi Lake? Look, these are, honestly, Nigerians, we raise doors over trivial issues. What FAN has done is simply administrative. FAN is still going to maintain presence in Abuja, not totally closing FAN in Abuja. FAN, of course, is in all parts of the country, is going to maintain presence in Abuja. It's just for administrative reasons, even for what do I call it, for management reasons. That is why it's moving to Lagos, where it's supposed to really operate, because it's regulating the aviation industry, and it should be where a lot of aviation activities really happen. Ditto for the CBN. The CBN is a regulator. Almost all the bank headquarters are in Lagos. Almost all. Maybe the one that's not there is Jay's Bank. So, and then look at the number of BDCs that you have. About 6,000 of them. More than half are in Lagos. So, who is CBN regulating? How can you be in Abuja and they are regulating people who are in Lagos? It do not work. It did not work. So what CBN has also done is, so in fact, they are not saying CBN is leaving Abuja in full. They are not moving headquarters of CBN from Abuja. They are just moving the partners of CBN that have more business to do in Lagos than in Abuja to say, go back to Lagos and go and do a job there better. They also have another point, said the headquarters in Abuja is congested and they need to decongest the headquarters. Apart from moving people to Lagos, the some departments to Lagos, especially the banking supervision department, they have also in Abuja here, there's also some sub offices of FAN, of CBN, that have moved their workers to. You said they want to decongest their headquarters. They want to send people to other states. Where CBN is in all the states of Nigeria, where CBN has branches. So everybody crowding themselves in the headquarters in Abuja. So that's what they have done. There is no policy about it. It's mere administrative. It's mere management decision. It's not something that people ought to politicize. It's not about politics at all.
It's not about politics. The Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, has been our guest on Split Views tonight. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Welcome to the Street Talk segment on Abuja Dispatch. This week we'll take a look at insecurity in Abuja. Escalating insecurity grips Abuja as residents demand urgent action. The Federal Capital Territory is facing alarming surge in insecurity, prompting growing concerns amongst citizens and authorities. I am Ayodele Oderinde. Let's go to the streets and listen to what residents have to say.
Security is everybody's business. It's not just only the security agencies. They are not spirits, neither they are angels, that they can get those information by themselves. We that we live in our various community, we're supposed to live by example. And of course, if you see something, you say something. There are visitors that you see. They will pass your area and you will not say anything. But when there are signals, you alert the security agencies. Of course, there are this work that they usually do between themselves. They are just like symbiotics. The DSS will get information, pass it to the military will equally move, and that of the police. We have the Air Force who will strike from the air, we have the Navy who will strike from the water.
I feel the military, like the security apparatus, is compromised. Why do I say it's compromised? In every state that runs in a country, you have service chiefs. So these service chiefs, they operate on their own. They don't even need the governors or ministers to report any situation. So when you have the service chiefs, they have a call line for people to fast track them, to report situations, daily occurrences. Now, when these occurrences keep occurring more than normal, you look at it and you feel the security apparatus has been compromised.
Come back to Abuja here, we have almost 109 senators. They are entitled to more than 20 police. Come back to reps, we have almost 300 and they are entitled to more than 10 police. Then we, the masses in Nigeria, we are almost 270 million. In Nigeria, is one police, 10 citizens, 100 citizens. If you go to America, it's one police, one citizen, or one police, one citizen. But in Nigeria, it's one police, 100 citizens.
God will not come down. But God will send somebody to come and meet you. But when you are coward, even if you are load, you leave it, somebody will carry it. We say government work is just little. If we can trust ourselves, believe in God, yes, I want to die and I want to go to heaven. You must practice one religion. But everybody want to go to heaven, nobody want to die. How can we make it?
A state policing will be a welcome development now, because now even the federal government security, even they have overworked them. They have overworked them. Because even many of them are attached to this so-called government agency.
In response to these security threats, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has deployed additional officers and pledged to address the dear issue. The conversation continues on all our social media platforms at Lagos Television and at LTV Socials. Abuja Dispatch continues in a bit. I am Ayodele Oderinde.
I could remember that as at that time when we proposed that 200 naira minimum wage, if you could recall that even inflation has not gotten to where it is today. If you also recall, as when we were doing that proposal, exchange rate, the official exchange rate was somewhere around 450 naira to $1. You could also recall as well that the parallel market rate as at then was somewhere around 700 naira to $1. But today, all this has been shattered. What that means is that we will go back to the drawing board, because Nigerian workers are battered as we speak, because Nigerian workers, the pay today literally is nothing. So the Nigerian workers, as we speak now, are facing through excruciating period. In fact, we've had a lot of minimum wage negotiations over the years, but this one will stand out.
Thanks for joining us tonight on Abuja Dispatch. A week from now, we'll bring you another refreshing episode. Same time, same station. Adegboyega Arogbodo is my name. Bye for now.